setting a proper motivation with 3 points. Visualize the refuge field. For this, think of what to visualize and how to visualize. But first, what to visualize? Visualize all the enlightened masters, Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, and any enlightened master who you consider as a source of blessings, with respect to your compassion, increasing compassion, with respect to you increasing wisdom, and how they look upon you, like the way the mother looks upon the very sick child with incredible love, affection, and embrace. First, visualize your for the Bodhisattva field. Visualize your 200 kind parents and all of family members, including children and all their sentient beings, including human beings, animals, insects, hungry ghosts, god and goddesses, spirits, everyone with you, those who seek to shun miseries and to acquire maximum happiness. And here you are like the mother, and all others are like children. Imagine how all these children, they are suffering. They are greatly dependent on you, and you shower so much love and affection towards them. This is how you should visualize all of them. In the process, let us not forget that these are all the triggers to retrieve the hidden treasure within us for your own benefit, and of course, alongside on a higher reality, on a higher level, while you're in the maximum happiness, it's done through the embracing the other beings with maximum love and affection. With this mind, remember the purpose of our being together here, to awaken, to retrieve this hidden treasure within us, the treasure unfolding of which makes you feel totally fearless and with infinite happiness. So with this mind, let us turn to page 3. And through great compassion, you taught Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. And through great compassion, you taught Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. And through great compassion, you taught Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. I go for refuge and to enlighten to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to for all sentient beings. I go for refuge and to enlighten to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to for all sentient beings. I go for refuge and to enlighten to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. May I become a Buddha to all sentient beings. In dependent origination, there is no ceasing, no rising, no annihilation, no permanence, no coming, no going, no separateness, and no sameness. I prostrate to the consummate Buddha, the supreme among all teachers, the one who taught this peace, which is free of elaborations. I prostrate to the mothers of the hearers, the Bodhisattvas and the Buddhas, which through the knowledge of all lead hearers seeking pacification and complete peace, which through the knowledge of past causes those helping migrate to achieve the aims of the world, and through the possession of which help subdue and expand a variety of teachings. The one who is transformed into the reliable guide, motivated by altruism to benefit sentient beings, the teacher, Sukata, and protector, to you are my prostrations. The one who has eliminated the web of conceptualizations and is endowed with the divine bodies of the vast and the profound, who eternally shines for the forever noble light rays, to you, the Buddha, I make prostrations. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mind of full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. Essence of Dependent Ocean Mantra. Let us try to reflect on the meanings. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tesham dathagato hyavatat tesham chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaye swaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tesham dathagato hyavatat tesham chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaye swaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tesham dathagato hyavatat tesham chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaye swaha. Meaning of the mantra. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. The cessation causes as well as taught by the great seer. Profound, peaceful, elaboration-free, clear-line and non-composite, such is the nectar of the Dharma I've discovered. Finding no one to fathom this teaching, in silence I'll return to words. Beyond utterance, thought, and expression is the perfection of wisdom, which is unborn, unceased, and has the nature of space, is the object of apprehension of self-realized wisdom. To you, the mother of the Buddhas of the three times, obeisance, the four seals of the Buddha's teachings. All composite things are impermanent. All contaminated things are the nature of suffering. All phenomena are the nature of emptiness and selflessness. Transcending sorrow is peace. The Guru is the Buddha, the Guru is the Dharma, likewise the Guru is the Sangha. The Guru is also everything wholesome. I go for refuge in the Guru. By the sound of the vibrant drum of Dharma, you liberate all beings of miseries. I beseech you to kindly remain and give teachings until the end of the expanse of billions eons. The Buddha does not watch the negativities of beings, nor does he remove their miseries by his hands. His spiritual realizations are not transferred to them. It is by teaching the truth of suchness that the beings are liberated. With folded hands of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered miseries gloom. Instructions on parting from the four attachments. If you are attached to this life, you are not a spiritual practitioner. If you are attached to samsara, you have no renunciation. If you are attached to your own self-interest, you have no bodhicitta. If there is grasping, you do not have the view. Okay, page 14. Praise to Shakyamuni Buddha. To the founder, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and good conduct, Sugata, Nur of the world, supreme God of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer from the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. When, O supreme amongst humans, you are born on this earth, you paced out seven strides, then said, I'm supreme in the world. To you who are wise, then I prostrate. With pure bodies, form supremely pure, wisdom ocean like a golden mountain, fame that blazes in the three worlds, winner of the best, Lord, to you I prostrate. With a supreme science, face like a spotless moon, color like gold, to you I prostrate. Dressed free like you, three worlds are not, incomparable wise one, to you I prostrate. The Savior having great compassion, the Founder having all understanding, the field of merit with qualities like a vast ocean, To you, the Tathagata, I prostrate. The purity that frees from the attachment, the virtue that frees from the low realms, the one path, the sublime pure reality, to the Dhamma that pacifies, I prostrate. Those who are liberated and also show the path to liberation, wholly feel qualified with realizations, who are devoted to the moral precepts, to you, the Sangha, I prostrate. Do not commit any non-virtuous actions, perform only perfect virtuous actions. Subdue your mind thoroughly. This is a teaching of the Buddha. A star, a visual aberration, a flammable lamp, an illusion, a drop of dew, or a bubble, a dream, a flash of lightning, a cloud, see conditioned things as such. Through this merits may sentient beings attain the rank of all-seeing, subdue the four faults, and be delivered from samsara's ocean, perturbed by the waves of aging, sickness, and death. Page 29. Heart Sutra. Let's not forget to remember 3 points. The question asked by Shariputra Aravalokteshvara, the response given by Aravalokteshvara to Shariputra, and the benefit that we get if we practice as taught by Shariputra, as taught by Aravalokteshvara, in response to the question by Shariputra. The Heart Sutra, the Perfectional Wisdom Sutra. I prostrate to the Arya-Triple Gem. Thus did I hear at one time the Buddha was dwelling on the mass of Valshas mountain in Rajgriha, together with a great community of monks and a great community of Bodhisattvas. At that time, the Buddha was absorbed in the concentration on the categories of phenomena called profound illumination. Also at that time, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Avalokiteshvara looked upon the very practice of the profound illumination of wisdom and beheld those five aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Then, through the power of the Buddha, the Venerable Shariputra said this to the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Avalokiteshvara: how should any child of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the profound professional wisdom train? He said that, and a Bodhisattva Mahasattva Avalokiteshvara said this to the Venerable Sharitvadiputra: Shariputra, any son of the lineage or daughter of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the profound professional wisdom should look upon it like this, correctly and repeatedly beholding those five aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Form is empty, emptiness is form. Emptiness is not other than form. Form is also not other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, compositional factors in consciousness are empty. Shariputra, likewise, all phenomena are empty, without characteristic, unproduced, unceased, stainless, not without stain, not deficient, not fulfilled. Shariputra, therefore, in emptiness, there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no composite factors, no consciousness, no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visual form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no object of touch, and no phenomenon. There's no I element and so on, including up to no mind element, no mental consciousness element. There's no ignorance, no extinction of ignorance, and so on, up to and including no aging and death, and no extinction of aging and death. Similarly, there is no suffering or origination, cessation, and path. There is no exalted wisdom, no attainment, also no non-attainment. Shariputra, therefore, because there is no attainment, Bodhisattvas to rely on and dwell in the professional wisdom, the mind without obscuration, and thus without fear. Having completely passed beyond error, they reach the end point of nirvana. All the Buddhas who dwell in the three times also manifestly completely awaken to unsurpassable, perfect, complete enlightenment in reliance on the professional wisdom. Therefore, the mother of the professional wisdom, the mother of great knowledge, the unsurpassed mantra, mantra equal and unequaled, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering should be known as truth, since it is not false. The mantra of the professional wisdom is declared Yatha Om Gade Gade Para Samgade Bodhi Swaha. Shariputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva should train the profound professional wisdom like that. Then the Buddha rose from their concentration and commanded the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Avalokiteshvara, saying, well said, son of the lineage. It is like that, it is like that. One should practice the profound professional wisdom just as you've indicated. Even the Tathagatas rejoice. The Buddha having thus spoken, the Venerable Sharitvatiputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Avalokiteshvara, those around in the entirety, along with the world of gods, humans, asuras, and Gandharvas, were overjoyed and highly praised that spoken by the Buddha. Om Gade Gade Paragate Parasamgate Bodhiswaha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhiswaha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhiswaha. By the teachings of three supreme jewels possessing power of truth, may inner and outer hindrance be transformed, may they be dispelled, may they be non-existent, may they be pacified, may all negative forces opposed to the Dharma be completely pacified, may the host of 80,000 obstacles be pacified, may we be separated from problems and conditions harmful to the Dharma, may all enjoyments be in accord with the Dharma, may auspicious and perfect happiness pervade this place now. Okay, let us turn to page 35, the 8 verses for training the mind. And in this short text, you see that the many of the practices taught, they are people may interpret that as very self-denial, saying that to give the victory to others, take the loss on yourself, and who harm you, take them as respect them. So they seem so self-denial. Now we see that if for those people who recognize that finally all the problems, the pains, stress, anxiety, and so forth, some at the root, at the core, self-grasping and self-centered attitude, these two are there. Those who identify that these two things are there, and then the external factors are there. Somebody who takes advantage of you, who bullies you, who judge upon you. We do see them. But external factors, if you just keep on the trying to get it with external factors, it's impossible to get it for the external factors completely. So the wise people, knowing that all problems that one experiences is because of two hands coming together, external and internal, and external is infinite number, and internal just two, self-grasping and self-centered attitude, these two things. And once you know that the whatever helps you to get rid of these two, then there's a real remedy to overcome our mental ills, mental problems. And we see that by the practice of the patience, it'll cut down the anger, agitation, and so forth. By the practice of the compassion, ego subsides. And so ego, anger, all these things are something inside. So this the 8 verses for training the mind, it helps us to get rid of these internal factors, and then you are left with only external factors. External factors, they cannot, without the internal factors, the external cannot do anything at all. So this is amazingly great, the, the set of teachings, and the author himself is considered as extremely evolved bodhisattva. Okay, let's read this together by contemplating on the meanings. 8 verses for training the mind by Geshe Tangpa. With the determination to achieve the highest aim for the benefit of all sentient beings, which surpasses even the wish-fulfilling gem, may hold them dear at all times. Whenever I interact with someone, may view myself as the lowest amongst all, and from the very depths of my heart, respectfully hold others as superior. In all my deeds, may I probe into my mind, and as soon as mental and emotional afflictions arise, as I endanger myself and others, may I sternly confront them and avert them. When I see beings of unpleasant character and those oppressed by the strong negativity and suffering, may I hold them dear, for they are rare to find, as if I have discovered a jeweled treasure. When others, out of jealousy, treat me wrongly with abuse, slander, and scorn, may I take upon myself the defeat and offer to others the victory. When someone whom I've helped or in whom I've placed great hopes mistreats me in extremely hurtful ways, may I regard him still as my precious teacher. In brief, may I offer benefit and joy to all my mothers, both directly and indirectly. May I quietly take upon myself all the hurts and pains of my mothers. May all these remain undefiled by the stains of the eight mundane concerns, and may recognizing all things as illusions, devoid of clinging, be released from bondage. From my two collections, vast the space that I've amassed, from working with effort at this practice for a great amount of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds wisdomized blind of ignorance. Okay, next 7 practice on the materials that we gather to the or the energy, the force that we gather to pursue this journey of awakening the internal treasure within us. And these are self-explanatory. Just try best to contemplate the meanings. I bow down to the Yuthvara Manjushri. You, the Buddhas, the lions amongst humans, God of freedom in the present, past, and future, in the worlds of 10 directions. To all of you who, with body, speech, and sincere mind, I bow down. With the energy and aspiration for the Bodhisattva way, with a sense of deep respect, and with as many bodies as atoms of the world. To all you Buddhas, visualize as real and bow down. On every particle, the Buddhas number as numberless as particles, each amidst a host of bodhisattvas, and I'm confident the sphere of all phenomena is entirely filled with the Buddhas in this way. With the infinite ocean of praise for you and oceans of sound from the aspects of my voice, I sing the breathtaking excellence of Buddhas and celebrate all of you Sugatas. Beautiful flowers in regal gardens, sweet music and scented oils and parasols, sparkling lights and sublime incense are offered to victorious ones the Buddhas. Fine dress and fragrant perfumes, sandalwood powder heaped high as Mount Meru, all wondrous offerings and spectacular array offered to victorious ones. With transcendent offerings, peerless and vast, with a profound admiration for all the Buddhas, with strength of conviction in the Bodhisattva's way, I offer and bow down to all victorious ones. Every harmful action I've done with my body, speech, and mind, overwhelmed by attachment, anger, and ignorance, all these are openly laid bare before you. I lift my heart and rejoice in all the merit of the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas in 10 directions, of solitary realizers here still training and those beyond, and of all ordinary beings. You who are the bright lights of the worlds in 10 directions, who have attained the Buddha's omniscience through the stage of awakening, all you who are my guides, please turn the supreme will of Dharma. With palms together, I earnestly request you who may actualize parinirvana, please stay with us for aeons, numberless atoms of the world, for the happiness well-being of all wanderers in samsara. Whatever slight merit I may have accumulated by making prostrations, offering, and confessing, rejoicing and requesting that the Buddha stay and teach, are now dedicated all these for the full awakening of all beings. Like a mental offering, I hope that you learned the hand gesture. Ashiji, did you learn? Good. And and Jabi learned. Okay. Okay. The Vinay, you learned. Okay. The so and this was of course expert. And maybe Charles Hopkins will teach Vinay later. Good. Okay. This ground, adorned with perfume, strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, the four continents, the sun, and the moon. I imagine this as a Buddha failed and offer it. May all sentient beings enjoy this pure land. O Sajin Böge Joshe Mendo Dam Rero Lien Shen Yen De Gen Bo Din Sangye Shen Do Me De Bu Wa Yin Dogen Nam Da Jin La Che Ba La Sho. For the Dharmas of Venerable Kambapa, may we bless that my mind is directed towards the Dharma. May we bless that my Dharma practices on the proper path. May we bless that the path is free of flaws. May we bless that the flaws are seen in the light of exalted wisdom. The four Dharmas of Venerable Bhikshu Mahasattva, becoming utterly frustrated with the ignorance that grasps into existence, please bless me with genuine renunciation, seeing all aspects of samsara as viciously repulsive. Please bless me that my mind stream overflows with the precious bodhicitta that cherishes others more than myself. Please bless me to have an immaculate experience of the wisdom of emptiness that does not see even an atom of intrinsic reality on the basis of understanding how things come into being by dependent origination through mere conditioning. Please bless me that my mind overflows with the precious wisdom of the non-duality to bliss and emptiness. Edam Guru Ratna Mendelagam Nirate. Amen. So what we do is that when we say Edam Guru Ratnam, this is, you ought to offer this to all the Bodhisattvas, and then now you receive these in the form of blessings like this. So whatever you've offered, you receive these in the form of blessings, and you just dismantle it, turning towards your heart. The heart is considered very important for the reason that heart is a spot where you see yourself as an extremely vibrant person. I'm Sambara, I'm Vinay, I'm Joshua. So you have this sense of I. So this where is it? Towards the legs? No. Towards hands? No. So the actual residence of this or your mind is at the heart, and the heart, this is not the biological heart. Biological heart is tilted more towards the left side. So just at the midpoint, go inside, and there is the not the biological heart. This is more like the psychophysical, the complex, and the just at midpoint of your chest is where it is. And then the when you so that is the main residence. For example, let's say that my main residence is in Delhi, but if you go to Delhi, you would not find me. You'll find this been somewhere around, but that is my main my main base. So the likewise, the main base of our mind, which eventually be ejected from the body, and then you again take rebirth. And those people who know how to get rid of internal factors, this will continue to improve, and then finally they'll be liberated fully. So, what is liberated? That mind is liberated, and that mind, where is its residence? The body is the guest house. Where is his residence? Residence is the heart. This heart. So therefore, all the blessings we receive at this heart. Okay, good. The next page 42, the foundation of all good qualities. This is by Lama Tsongkhapa. This is the roadmap to enlightenment. And it's very comprehensive. It's just 14 verses. very comprehensive. And just these 14 verses, we see that they are elaborated, explained, and you see that in English there are three huge volumes. Three volumes are there in English to explain these 14 verses. So it's an extremely succinct, short text, and every day we could read this, and then you get the whole picture of how to get to their enlightenment, rather than waiting for what is it, empty expectation. And some they'll say, "Oh, just meditate on this." Whatever, I'm not going to specify this or that. Meditate on this, and then this will liberate. This is the shortcut. There's no shortcut to become PhD, to become what? To become a Nobel laureate in physics, no shortcut. You just focus like this, and then next day you become a Nobel laureate in physics. Impossible. You have to study physics systematically. Likewise, to be liberated, you have to study these, contemplate, and meditate on these systematically. So these are the 14 extremely succinct way as a roadmap, and then you have to go into details as your interest develops. You have to go into details. Okay. The foundation of all good qualities is a kind and a perfect pure Guru. Correct devotion to him is the root of the path. By clearly saying this and applying great effort, please bless me to rely upon him with great respect. Understanding that the precious freedom of this rebirth is found only once, is greatly meaningful and is difficult to find again. Please bless me to gender the mind that unceasingly take it and day and night takes its essence. This life is as impermanent as a water bubble. Remember how quickly it decays and death comes. After death, just like a shadow follows the body, the results of virtuous and non-virtuous karmas follow. Finding firm and definite conviction in this, please bless me always to be careful to abandon even the slightest negativity and accomplish all virtuous deeds. Samsaric splendors are unsatisfying and unreliable. Seeking them is a door to all suffering. Recognizing these shortcomings, please bless me to generate a strong wish for the bliss of liberation. Led by this pure thought, mindfulness, and alertness, great question arise. The root of the teaching is keeping the Pratimoksha vows. Please bless me to accomplish this essential practice. Just as I've fallen into sea of samsara, so have all other migratory beings. Please bless me to see this, train in Supreme Bodhicitta, and bear the responsibility of freeing migratory beings. Even if I develop bodhicitta, but I don't practice the three types of morality, I'll not achieve enlightenment. With my clear recognition of this, please bless me to practice the Bodhisattva vows with great energy. Once I've pacified distractions to wrong objects and correctly analyzed the meaning of reality, please bless me to generate creativity within my mind's frame, the unified path of karma abiding special insight. Having become a pure vessel by doing the general path, please bless me to enter the holy gateway of the fortunate ones, the supreme Vajra vehicle. At that time, the base of accomplishing the two attainments is keeping pure vows and samaya. As I've become firmly convinced of this, please bless me to practice these vows and pledges like my life. Then, having realized the importance of the two stages, the essence of Vajrayana, by practicing with great energy, never giving up the 4 sessions, please bless me to realize the teachings of the Holy Guru. Like that, may the Gurus who showed the noble path and his spiritual friends who practice it for long lives, please bless me to pacify completely all outer and inner hindrances. In all my lives, never separated from perfect gurus, may enjoy the magnificent Dharma by completing the qualities of stages and the paths, may cultivate the state of Vajratara. Okay, first we'll say the maximum verse in English, followed by the um, chanting. You are Avalokiteshvara, great treasure of non-referential compassion, and Manjushri, master of flawless wisdom, as well as Vajrapani, deserve hosts of demons without exception, Zankapa, crown and jewel of the sage of the land who snows, thus on top by their feet and make prostrations. jen ke be zo ye zo ka ba lo san ta be sham lo so wa ne me me ze be te je je re se te me ke be wo bo jang be yang han jen ke be zo ye zo ka ba lo san ta be sham lo so wa ne me me ze ve te je je re se te me ke me om bo jam yang han jen ke be zo ye zo ka ba lo san ta be sham lo so wa ne. You are Avalokiteshvara, great treasure of non-referential compassion, and Manjushri, master of flawless wisdom, as well as Vajrapani, disturb hosts of demons without exception, Tsongkhapa, crown jewel of the sages of the land of snows, Losantaba, defeat and make prostrations. Okay, the next Daishra practice, generated in monoconsumant yoga, with the 4 practices. The first is the 5 minutes meditation. Are you ready? Okay. For this practice, there are four things of practice. The first one is what we did already, shamatha meditation, and then yesterday explained why these four. And those interested to know why these four, of course, we cannot go in detail now. What we did is recorded the yesterday's morning session. You can get it from our Tibet staff, and you listen to the morning session, yesterday's morning session. You will know the reasons. And broadly speaking, during our classes, the early classes, we already explained it, but then some of the points were explained yesterday, only yesterday morning, not in the regular classes. Okay. So next is the renunciation. To prepare us to seek a greater the purpose of life, that is the bodhicitta, and then the actual meditation, the wisdom. Okay, ready? Renunciation is done based on the practice of the four seals, and there are many ways of doing this, like in the Sakya tradition, Nyingma tradition, Kagyu tradition, Geduk tradition, Cholang tradition, and the same practice of renunciation is done, and then they adapted a little bit the different, not really different, but the formulations, but then they're all related to the Buddha's own teachings. So what we do is we use the direct teachings, the four seals, to invoke the spirit of the renunciation. Okay, ready? So meditation is of two kinds, analytical and single point meditation. What we already did is a single point meditation. Now, renunciation, bodhicitta, wisdom, emptiness, these all fall in the category of the analytical meditation, where your mind should be actively analyzing. And because of this, that we should learn how to analyze. So this will make our mind the proactive, and whereas some of the meditation is just observing what we did now, and including the many today known as mindfulness-based meditation. Mindfulness meditation. This is very popular nowadays. These all fall under the category of the single point meditation or the shamatha meditation. And this meditation will help us to stabilize the mind, but a mind need to be developed in two ways, particularly to retrieve your Buddha nature fully. The mind needs to be trained in two ways. One, to stabilize, not to react. Other one is to be proactive. Because some people, when they continue to do this meditation, where the reactivity stops and just observe the senses, the breath, visualization, so forth, just sit in this meditation, the tendency is that the proactivity stops because you don't train in the proactivity. Reactivity is to be discouraged, but the proactivity is to be encouraged. That part is missing. So these people who do this such meditation for a long time, like 2 hours every day, the danger is that the proactivity is not trained. For example, your hand, put like this all the time. Don't move it because you have the hand fracture. You keep it like this for 2 months. Then what happens? Later, when you stretch, you're going to stretch it. Your hand is not to give it like this. Your hand is to be used. It's to be used, not just keep it like this all the time. But you keep it like this for 2 months. Why? Because it's a fracture problem. Now the fracture is fixed, but now you cannot move. You need help of physiotherapist to move it like this gradually. That is a proactivity. And not moving to stop the fracture getting worse. That is the stopping the reactivity. Reactivity should be stopped, but the proactivity should be encouraged. That is missing. So this is where many people who do the single point meditation, any form of meditation, including the Buddhist meditation, non-Buddhist meditation, just single point like this, the proactive part is missing. The indication is that there was one boy many years ago in Pune during our retreat. He's just 23 years old. And he said that the last 3 years he had been meditating on the 10 Vipassana thing. He has been meditating on this for 3 years. Before he started that, he was an extremely hyper boy, hyper. And then he engaged in this meditation and he was consistent did this meditation for 3 years. And he realized that his mind, the hyper, the the nature gradually calmed down and stopped. And it was a great experience for him. And then he's saying that now something else has developed. That is, that usually he's so hyper. You see some movement there, instantly goes like this. Now that is calmed. Even if there's some emergency happening, some emergency thing happening, you cannot act. You are so calm like this. You cannot act. So this, he says that this is demerit that he sensed. I said, I'm so glad that you said it. I'm not saying this. You said it. So therefore, now I can tell you. Otherwise, if you're right from the beginning, I say like this, you will not agree with me. You have stopped you have stopped the reactivity, but you have not learned the proactivity. You have stopped the reactivity. While stopping the reactivity, you also stop the proactivity because it's just always sitting, always just observing the mind. Keep the mind static, like the hand, arm. You should not overact. At the same time, it should not be always kept like this. It should be used so that it does not become stiff. But if you keep like this all the time for like 2 months, then you can remove it becomes stiff. So this is where the proactivity is missing. So proactivity is developed with the help of the analytical meditation, and the reactivity will be stopped by the single point of meditation. That makes the meditation complete. Nowadays, it becomes so popular. Mindfulness meditation, mindfulness meditation, mindfulness meditation. It's just only one side of the story. Other part is missing. So other part is the analytical meditation. And analytical meditation is the one which actually makes you grow. For example, for the house, building a house, stacking the bricks. You stack the bricks. Stacking the bricks involves movement, and then don't keep stacking it. Stack it like maybe 5 layers and stop it there for some time. Why? It has to set. The cement has to set. So this letting it just cool it down like this, keep it there without touching it. That is the single point of meditation. And again, the next day, you keep stacking it. That is the analytical meditation. So analytical meditation makes the house grow. Simply by keeping steady, the house will never grow. But steadiness is very important to make sure that the house grows steady. But the growth happens because of the stacking it. That is done by analytical. So this is where some people say, okay, just meditation, meditation. Oh, meditation will make you enlightened. No, it will not make you enlightened. Look at Buddha's two teachers, Acharya Alara Kalam, Acharya Udrika. Both of them reached this single point of meditation at the highest level. But the Buddha was not happy. Buddha left because the analytical meditation was missing. Analytical, particularly analytical with respect to the emptiness missing. So the Buddha left to look for that part. So then the Buddha got the complete, and then he started to give the teachings. Okay, so what we're doing now is the analytical part. What we did is the single pointed. And the analytical part, at the moment, I'm giving the instruction. Just follow instructions. Follow instructions, your mind is activated. That is a proactivity that you do, and gradually see that you become independent, that you can do it on your own, not necessarily having to depend on somebody else. This is so important. Are you ready? Renunciation. Renunciation is to renounce your miseries, is not to renounce your happiness. How to renounce the miseries? To renounce the miseries, we need to know how to renounce causes of miseries. The Buddha taught, "Ye dharma hedu prabhava." All phenomena arise from the causes. And the to renounce causes of miseries, we need to identify the cause of miseries. And cause of miseries, what we learned is contaminant karmas, afflictions, inappropriate tension, and self-grasping ignorance. And particularly at the core, at the root of all the miseries is the ignorance. And the ignorance, of course, it has many layers. And out of the many layers, Buddha taught 4 layers of ignorance which are responsible for our miseries. First, misconceiving impermanent phenomena as permanent. While all the composite things impermanent. To counteract this, Buddha taught the to counteract the 4 misperceptions, the Buddha taught the 4 seals. The first seal, all composite things impermanent. All composite meaning things which are composed of material parts and temporal parts. Whatever is constituted of material parts and temporal parts should necessarily be impermanent in nature. And impermanence is of 2 kinds: gross impermanence and subtle impermanence. Gross impermanence, impermanence whose continuum terminates. For example, 2023, 2024. Nobody can stop it. It invariably stops the continuum of 2023, 2024. And our youth, invariably, it stopped. And the joys that we experience, suffering, change, invariably they stop at one point. And the beautiful sunset that you observe, and beautiful waves that you see in the ocean, they're all impermanent. And our being together is also impermanent. Family members together is also impermanent. Either the children they leave for their higher studies, job, and so forth, and the parents are left alone, or the parents leave the world, and the children left alone. This is impermanent. It's for this reason the Buddha taught the reality. Whatever gathers disperses. Whatever is exhausted, whatever is accumulated gets exhausted. Whatever is born, die. This is reality. And we talk about Ahmedabad, London flight crashed. One day, each one of us will be crashed in one way or the other. This reality, this impermanence. And this impermanence, marked by the termination of the continuum, is possible only if there's some momentary changes happening within. All composite phenomena should necessarily have the subtle impermanence, momentariness. Look at the physical world, how physics explains that things are constantly in movement: electrons, protons, neutrons, atoms. This is exactly how our body's changing. The world in which we live changes. We don't see this with the naked eyes. Our eyes are so limited. If we contemplate deeper, we see that the whole world is going through constant flux of change. This is what the Buddha refers to as the all composite things impermanent. If this is how things are moving so fast, No composite phenomena remains static even for a second. All composite phenomena, they move so fast, they change so fast. And moving towards what? Of course, moving towards one thing, death for us. If it moves so fast, it is like we being thrown into a very fast moving train. And if a stranger throws you into a very fast moving train, what's your feeling? Feeling of fear, acute fear. Why fear? We don't know where this train is taking us. And who decides where this train is taking us? It's decided by the train driver. And if the train driver is your mother, no doubt will take you to a picnic spot. But if the train driver is a terrorist or under the dictate of the terrorists, no doubt will take us to the slaughterhouse. In our case, the train driver is our mind, and the mind is under the dictate of the contamination. Whatever is dictated by the contaminations will only take us to miseries. This is what the Buddha indicated as the second seal. All contaminated things are of suffering nature. Our body, our mind is contaminated by self-grasping, ignorance, self-centered attitude, inappropriate attention, afflictions, contaminating comments. Where our mind which is the driver of our existence, given that it is under the sway of the contaminations, wisdom which is self-grasping ignorance, it will only take us to misery. Misery is like what? Three kinds of misery: suffering change, and pervasive conditions suffering. And some of the pains, the misery is so acute. Even to think of the pain again just leaves us into a state of trembling, the fear. Yes, one moment of such a tragedy is good enough for us to nullify all the past experiences of merriments, celebrations, birthday parties, New Year celebrations, and so forth. One moment of such tragedy is good enough to see that if all the joys that we experienced before, they are like just totally shallow, hollow, meaningless, gloomy. This is exactly what many people feel when they go through their tragedies. Okay, yes. When will these miseries stop? 2024 stopped on its own. Likewise, when will be the day that these miseries will stop for me? They will never stop. Impermanent phenomena is of three kinds. One whose continuum stops invariably, and the other whose continuum never stops. For example, like time, your mind, they never stop. And this third category of impermanent phenomena, whose continuum never stops, but stops only if with a concerted effort. And your miseries fall into this category. The ignorance falls under this category. Your aging, death, and so forth fall under this category. Okay, how? We need to, of course, we need to put a concerted effort. What kind of effort? Effort to counteract the root of the problem. What's the root of the problem? Self-grasping, ignorance. What is ignorance? Ignorance is the mind whose apprehension of the object tallies, whose object does not tally with the reality. So how to get rid of this ignorance? By introducing wisdom. What is that wisdom? The wisdom is the mind a discerning mind whose apprehension of the object tallies with the reality. What's the reality? The reality is what the Buddha indicated as the third seal, that everything is the nature of emptiness, subsistence. Okay, let us quickly meditate on emptiness of yourself. Well, let's say emptiness of today, let's meditate on emptiness of flower that you feel so attached to. A very beautiful flower. Okay, imagine a very beautiful flower. Imagine that you go into a garden, extremely beautiful garden, and you catch sight of an extremely beautiful, freshly blossomed rose flower, pink rose flower. How does it appear to you? Of course, it appears to you as so objectively real, so solidified, objectified there. Like a dream? No, no way. So this belief that the flower is so objectively not at all related to your mind, this belief is known as self-grasping ignorance. And how do I know that this ignorance? Okay, let us quickly, if it does exist objectively, we should be able to find it as we go close to the object. This is what Arya Nagarjuna taught. If the mirage, if the mirage were to be water, why not those close by the mirage see water? If you see me in water, if you see me from distance, 1 kilometer away from you, you see me in water, you're wondering, is it real water or is mirage? How do you evaluate this? By coming closer to us where the water appears from. Coming closer, you end up seeing that there's nothing, it's totally dry. Then you conclude that what you earlier saw as water was deceptive. It was a mirage. Likewise, with a similar token for reasoning, if this flower were to exist objectively, why not? It's visible. Why not? You can find it as we go close to the object. Okay, now let us go close to the object. Going close to the object, we see that this flower is nothing but made of cells, innumerable cells. And each cell is made of cell membrane, cytoplasm, nucleus. And the nucleus is made of the chromosomes. Chromosomes made of DNA molecules. And chromosomes, if you see this under the electron microscope, you will see just a very striped, just this snake-like structure, brownish striped snake-like structure, very quite repulsive to look at. Okay, now without touching the flower, the perception changes. Earlier, the very beautiful, freshly blossomed flower appears. Now, going close to the object, that flower disappears. Instead, we see the brownish striped snake-like structure chromosomes. And what is your feeling? Little aversion comes. And still fine-tune the electron microscope, you see that these chromosomes are made of DNA molecules, which in turn are made of atoms. Now stay in the level, atomic level. Tell me, where is this flower? It's nowhere to be seen. I'm discovering that going closer to the object, the flower is empty. This means of the flower being objectively empty. It doesn't mean the flower is non-existent. Flower exists, but it does not exist objectively. It exists subjectively. Subjective meaning that simply comes by the power of your mind. That's it. And from the object is totally empty. Stay in this experience for a while. Oh, yeah, amazing. This meditation very powerful. But what's the benefit of this meditation? Yes, just as this flower, beautiful flower, dissolves and your attachment to the flower stops. Likewise, subjecting your miseries, the sorrows, mental disturbance, anxiety, stress, anguish, and so forth, subjecting them to the same analysis, we see they all dissolve. Your sorrow is transcended. Wow, that's amazing. Yes, sorrow is transcended. The miseries, anxiety is transcended. That's amazing. Where all these are transcended, peace, genuine peace dawns in you. This is the meaning of the fourth seal. Transcendent sorrow is absolute peace. Stay in this experience for a while. Just pray. May I be able to soon experience this emptiness where all my miseries and sorrows are transcended, and genuine peace dawns from deep within. Extremely reliable peace dawns within us. This desire to experience this emptiness where all the sorrows are transcended, this is known as renunciation. Okay, slowly we come out of the meditation and we now move to the Bodhisattva practice. Okay, just take a few seconds break. Okay, ready? Bodhisattva practice. Yes, as yesterday I did mention this. There are two methods to Zen Bodhicitta. This is extremely beautiful practice, Bodhisattva practice. If you practice it and you start to feel something of this, you see that you're literally all the unnecessary tension, the stiffness of your mind relaxes, and it's so beautiful. And otherwise, where you go to any place, you see somebody, there's a barrier we tend to create. We tend to create a barrier, and you become judgmental. And if the person looks more elegant, you feel a little inferior. And then you to look for the mistakes, problems. You see the problem. Oh, he's good, but there's a problem there. Being very judgmental. Whereas if the other person looks little, so shabby, you feel arrogant. There's a problem. And this is a big problem. This is disease. This is a disease. Whereas with compassion, you practice this, and gradually your heart. Yesterday, what I taught about the entanglement, the knots. You practice this, and these are the steps there. Following the steps, you see that these knots, there are hundreds and thousands of knots within our heart. You you don't feel it at the moment. Only when you practice, or say somebody says, okay, the so collectively we will engage in a charity work, or all the participants of this retreat. Each one of us each one of us let us donate 10,000 rupees. No way. Right? No way. No, no, no. Hey, Joshua, 10,000, 10,000, right? So there, now he's coming to me. Are you serious? You're getting it? Yes, I'm serious. Then what happens? You said that, no way. You could feel this, like this. Somewhere here, you could feel it. No way. So this is these are knots within us, invisible, but it's there. You can feel it when the situation arises. So look, these knots, is it pleasant? Not pleasant. Acute, and then somebody forces you. You have to pay. Right? If somebody forces you, this is what happens in Gaza, Ukraine. People lose their lives. For example, in Tibet, so the 1959, the CCP, Communist Chinese, they come, they say that no, you are feudalism, we will decide, right? And they take away everything. They take away everything. They possess everything. Even the beautiful palace, Potala Palace, taken away. Everything taken away. And that what happens, if this is what happens to you, forget about the whole nation. Even your 10,000 rupees taken away, what happens? There's a way, this you can see, feel the knot, extremely strong knot. Unless we learn how to unentangle this knot, this pain will forever remain. You will have to carry this to next life, next life. So how to stop that? Stop that is that no, give her 10 rupees is crazy. This is because you have the knot. Whereas if you don't have the knot, 10,000 rupees, letting go 10,000 rupees is just nothing. Letting go, joy comes. Why this 10,000 rupees? For that, so that I will have my miseries will be less. I can use this money to minimize my miseries and expand my joys. I can have an extra cheesecake to expand my joy. But the real joy is when you let go of this, but let go of this skillfully. You're getting it? Skillfully through practice. You let go. It's not actually letting go. You just give it, and the joy multiplies in you. But it will not happen to everybody. It'll happen to somebody who practiced this, who unentangled this skillfully. For example, this glass. If I want to give a shape to this glass, design to this glass, what should I do? I have to twist it in a skillful way. And if I twist it fast, what happens? It breaks. So I have to twist it very gently and skillfully. Likewise, to remove this knot, it should be done in a very skillful way and gently with the proper steps. This is amazing. And once you succeed, it'll take time. Once you succeed, this makes your life so beautiful. And perhaps you can feel yourself as the richest person. You give, your joy multiplies. That's amazing. Okay, so there are two methods. The first one is known as the method, the sevenfold cause effect method to generate bodhicitta. It has primarily seven steps plus one preliminary. And then the other one is known as the method of equalizing and exchanging self for others. And of course, for the NIC, we are not going to do these two methods, but for the NDC, we do that. NDC, Nalanda Diploma course, we do in great detail both methods. And then the each one of us daily, we do these, do these two methods. Then gradually you see that the knots are being unentangled one by one, one by one, one by one, one by one. And over time, within a span, we never know. You know, for some people, it may take like 5 years. For some people, like 10 years, 20 years. You can really, literally could feel that now the knot has loosened, and there's ease coming. Earlier, where you see somebody you feel a little stiff, particularly somebody who is more arrogant or somebody who is more elegant, you feel a little stiff. You you shrink. You know, this is what happens to your mind. But now somebody elegant comes, your mind is very relaxed. Somebody very bossy comes, so your mind is very relaxed. And then somebody who is the more shabby comes, the your mind doesn't judge. It's beautiful. It's amazing. You can see the ease and confidence. It's beautiful. Okay, so with this mind, the in group usually I do just 4 immeasurables. So we'll do the 4 immeasurables now. Again, this falls under the category of theme and the little meditation. Just follow the instructions and try to invoke the experiences as much as you can. And the later on, you should become independent. Independent meaning that you should be able to do it on your own without the need of somebody guiding you. You should be able to guide yourself. Ready? Okay. This practice of bodhicitta is to expand your heart, also known as the practice of universal compassion, universal kindness. For that, we require incredible blessings, incredible inspiration from the enlightened masters who already practiced this and succeeded in this practice, like all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas. Particularly today, we have His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Just invoke these enlightened masters. And for some people, it can be Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. I truly, truly, truly They revere Jesus Christ. I personally truly revere Jesus Christ for his incredible compassion and the courage. So, likewise, in your life, you have seen somebody truly courageous, compassionate. You can think of these and seek blessings from them, true as a support for your practice. And imagine your two parents, your children, all of them members with you, where you are like a very mature little girl, little boy, who makes sure to bring your siblings with you, all your siblings, brothers, sisters with you, that they also do something good for themselves and for others. First, the immeasurable loving kindness. How good would it be that all my dear mother sentient beings are endowed with happiness and the causes of happiness. Causes of happiness primarily consisting of the wisdom of emptiness and the unconditional love of the Bodhisattva. May all my dear mother sentient beings be endowed with happiness and the causes of happiness. I'll take the responsibility that all my dear mother sentient beings are endowed with happiness and the causes of happiness. And sometimes some people say that this practice looks so superficial. My mind doesn't really resonate with what we are doing. Yes, therefore, this is known as practice. Like practice music, you press the keyboards, you initially mimic your teachers, but still no music, only noise. Over time, it becomes through constant practice, it becomes this is exactly what happened today. We are not expecting that your mind resonates with the instructions given here, but still just try to do that, and gradually it'll become real. I'll take the responsibility that all my dear sentient beings are endowed with happiness and the causes of happiness. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas witnessing that you making such a courageous commitment, they are so happy and proud. This pride and happiness invoke their compassionate minds to send for nectars of very soothing lights to you and all dear messenger beings. The mere touch of lights and nectars with the body speaks yours instills in all happiness and causes happiness in the minds of sentient beings and your sentient beings and yourself. And you witnessing such a miracle is happening to all the dear sentient beings. You're intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sigh with relief. Next, immeasurable compassion. How good would it be that all my dear sentient beings are freed from suffering and the causes of suffering? Causes of suffering primarily consisting of self-grasping ignorance and its offshoots when complemented by self-centered attitude. May all my dear sentient beings be freed from suffering and the causes of suffering. I'll take the responsibility that all my dear sentient beings are freed from suffering and the causes of suffering. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas witnessing that you make such a courageous commitment, their intense happiness and proud of you. This pride and happiness invoke their compassion mind through central nectars of soothing lights towards you and all their messenger beings. Their mere touch with the lights and nectars with the ball speaks to yours, washes away all the miseries and cause of miseries from the dear messenger beings and yourself. And you witnessing such a miracle is happening to all your dear messenger beings. You're intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sigh with relief. Next, immeasurable joy. First one is immeasurable loving kindness. Number two, immeasurable compassion. Number three, immeasurable joy. Number four, immeasurable equanimity. So we're doing the third one, immeasurable joy. How good would it be that all my demonstration beings are never separated from happiness and the cause of the happiness that they endowed with. May all my demonstration beings never be separated from happiness and the cause of happiness that they endowed with. I'll take the responsibility that all my demonstration beings are never separated from happiness and the causes of happiness that they're endowed with. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas witnessing the remaining such courage, commitment, the intense happiness and proud view. This pride and happiness invoke their compassion minds to accept nectars of soothing lights to pursue in ultimate sentient beings. The mere touch of lights and nectars with the Boris brings yours stabilizes the happiness and the cause of happiness that being sent out with. And you witnessing such a miracle is happening to us all, to all the demonstration beings. You're intense happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sigh with the relief. Next, immeasurable equanimity. How good would it be that all my dear medicine beings are freed from the biased attitude of excessive attachment towards some and aversion towards others, and instead abide in the great state of equanimity, embracing all other demonstration beings equally, leaving none aside. May all my dear medicine beings be freed from the biased attitude of excessive attachment towards some and aversion towards others, and instead abide in the great state of equanimity, embracing all other demonstration beings with total love and affection, leaving none aside. I will take the responsibility that all my demonstration beings are freed from the biased attitude of excessive attachment and aversion towards others. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas witnessing that you're making such a courageous commitment, yet the intense happiness and proud of you, this pride and happiness invoke their compassionate minds to ascend the nectars of soothing lights towards you and all demonstration beings. The mere touch of lights and nectars with the body speaks to yours. Frees the beings from the biased attitude of excessive attachment towards some and aversion towards others, and instead abide, making them abide in the great state of equanimity, letting them embrace all other demonstration with total love and affection, leaving none aside. And use witnessing that that such a miracle is happening to all the demonstration beings, you're intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths out, relief. Underscoring all the 4 immeasurables is unconditional love. Abide in this unconditional love for a while. Imagining that you're looking at the eyes of each sentient being with total love and affection, to the extent that each one of them feels themselves as so special in your eyes. Oh, that's amazing. This love and affection of solid beings, though in the form of the seed of the plantation, it will soon germinate in the full-fledged bodhicitta. For you to retrieve this hidden treasure completely, that you experience total fearlessness and infinite happiness for yourself, and be able to share this wisdom and compassion with all the demonstration beings is amazing. With folded hands, Let us wholeheartedly make a Buddhist commitment together 3 times. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. Abundance experience of the most beautiful mind that possibly exists in this entire universe. And today you have generated this amazing. Slowly transform this beautiful Mother Bodhicitta into a spotlessly clean moon disk, horizontally sitting on your heart. Wow, this is amazing. It's amazing that you made such courageous commitment to become Buddha. But remember, no matter how much you squeeze a handful of sand, no oil comes out. So how are you confident? How come that you're confident that you can become a Buddha? Yes, that's true. No matter how much you squeeze a handful of sand, no oil comes out. But I'm not like a handful of sand. I'm like a handful of sunflower seeds, squeezing which the oil of the Buddhahood can come out because I have the Buddha nature. I have the potential of the Buddhahood within me. I have the Buddha nature. If this were the case, how come that since time immemorial to today, this Buddha nature is never awakened? Yes, again, it's true. It's all because that till today I am deceived by the two demons, self-grasping, ignorance, self-centered attitude, always obscuring this Buddha nature. But then, and today I'm disillusioned by this reality that these two are not my friends, these two are the worst of my enemies, and I'm going to do everything to exterminate these two demons so that the Buddha nature inside will manifest, that I become Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. But I'm going to do that. I'm going to resort to a very powerful remedy. What kind of remedy? The non-dual wisdom of the Arya Bodhisattvas. What is that like? Okay, quickly retrieve the experience of emptiness, which you meditated as the third seal of the four seals. Okay, think about the flower, beautiful flower. How does it appear to you? Like a dream or as so objectively real, nothing to do with the dream? Of course, as subject real, nothing of the mind, nothing to do with the mind. This belief is a self-grasping ignorance. Now, how do we know that is the invalid mind? Subject this to ultimate analysis. Go closer to the set. If it does exist there as object real, it should be findable as we go closer to the object. Okay, let us now go closer to the object. Going closer to the object, we end up seeing just a ball of atoms. First, the cells, then the nucleus, the chromosomes, the DNA molecules, the atoms. Now you see the whole of atoms. Tell me, you've come too close to the object. Where is this flower? It's no, I'm amazed to discover that it's not there from the object. Stay in this experience for a while. That the flower is empty from the object. Stay in this experience for a while. Slowly transform this wisdom of emptiness into a spotless, clean, thumb-size white vajra, vertically sitting on the Montesquieu heart. Okay, now you have the moon, symbolic of the conventional bodhicitta, the desire to become Buddha for the benefit of sentient beings, unconditional love, and Vajra, symbolic of the ultimate bodhicitta, non-dual wisdom of the Arya Bodhisattvas. This will guarantee that all your mental defilements, like self-grasping, the afflictive obscurations, cognitive obscurations, all will be eradicated completely. Wow, that's amazing. Yes, it's indeed amazing. But don't forget your two parents, your children, all of them members are suffering terribly. What's the use of what's the use if I become enlightened? If they're not enlightened, I must make them enlightened. Generate very strong compassion to all the sentient beings. And this compassion invokes the Vajra moon at your heart to multiply infinite number of times. Share one set of the Vajra moon at the heart of your mother, one set at the heart of your father, one set with each one of them members with children, one of which with each of the beings here in Kalimpong, in Buddhapata, with each of the beings, the star, the animals, the insects, the spirits, god and goddesses, one with each of the beings in India, in your own country, in the entire universe. Just imagine the ocean, huge ocean, how many trillions of creatures are there, ranging from the tiny unicellular organism, amoeba, to the biggest of the blue whales, and in the wilderness, the tiniest of the insects to the biggest of the elephants, so forth. Just imagine that you are sharing this version moon with each of the beings, trillions of beings. It's amazing. Also, let us not forget that Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, they're watching us. Why not? We request them. We request them to be the witness as well as our guests to undertaking the ceremony of taking the aspiration Bodhisattva vow. As a gesture of making this request, let us slowly stand up with all demon syndrome beings. Let us slowly stand up to make 3 prostrations to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. And let us also take this is an opportunity to include your if your parents are passed, if your parents already passed away, you think of them with you. It doesn't matter, even though they're passed away, still you can visualize them. This will be a great benefit for them also, and all sentient beings with you. Okay, if possible, sit on your right knees. Sit on your right knees for while taking this aspiration bodhisattva vow. And the question is, who's entitled to take this aspiration bodhisattva vow? Anyone is entitled. It is not necessary that you should be Buddhist, and it does not have any commitment as long as you have the desire to be a happier person, number one. As long as you have the desire to be more compassionate, and as long as you have a desire to seek a deeper meaning, give a greater meaning to life. So these people are entitled to take this aspiration bodhisattva vow, and there's no commitment at all. And if at all you want some commitment, this is that from today onwards, I'll try my best to be of benefit to others, and if not, at least I'll not harm others. This much, and that too, I'll try my best. Not that okay, I become angry today, so I made a promise. Now I'm too bad. No, it doesn't mean that I'm going to stop anger completely. I'm going to stop all the bad things completely. No, you don't say that. I'll try my best. We should be very practical and realistic. So this is what we're doing. So with this mind, let us turn to page 50. Okay. Um, I'm going to quickly explain the first verse, and then after reading the first verse 3 times, I'll explain the next 2 verses. Page 50, page 50. Okay. The first verse says that given that what we're doing is, although we are like babies with respect to taking these steps to retrieve your hidden treasure, but you are very committed, dedicated. Yes, I'll do this. This is the greatest meaning. And for that, we require support. And the greatest support is somebody who has experienced that himself or herself. That's the Triple Gem, Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. So the first line says, I'll go for refuge to the Triple Gem. The next, you are undertaking a journey from where you are now till the awakening of your Buddha nature. So for that journey involves the road, and the road must be clear of the road must be clear. It should not be blocked by the fallen trees, the boulders, and so forth. And the road is none other than your own mind. Your mind must be freed of the negativities. So for that purpose, second line says, I confess the negativities individually. Now the road is very clear, but if the car does not have fuel, again you cannot undertake this journey. The car must have the full fuel, and the car is none other than your own mind. Your mind should have enough fuel of the virtues to undertake this journey. Third line says, I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. Okay, now the road is clear and the car has enough fuel. What kind of journey I'm going to undertake? A journey of awakening my hidden treasure. It says, I hold the precious Buddhahood in my heart. Okay, let's wholeheartedly say these three times together. Imagine that you're inspiring all the sentient beings to do that, and knowing that all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, they are, as you requested, they are here as a witness to you undertaking the ceremony of taking the special Bodhisattva vow. I go for refuge to the Triple Gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. I go for refuge to the Triple Gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. I go for refuge to the Triple Gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. The next two verses, invoking, beginning with invocation of the Gurus, Buddhas, Bodhisattvas to be heed to you, and as you said, I'm going to become Buddha. But in the history of humanity, okay, now if you feel a little pain, please sit down in the most comfortable way if you feel pain, because the pain should not hamper your thinking. Thinking is what makes us grow. Okay. And so, in history of humanity, is there somebody who succeeded in this? Yes, Prince Siddhartha succeeded. How did he succeed? As we said, the one who is transformed. Transformed meaning somebody who's an ordinary person become enlightened. So there's so much hope in us also. I'm also ordinary. If he, as an ordinary person, became enlightened, I too can become enlightened. Yes. How? How did he succeed? He succeeded by the creating two factors. The first factor is the factor of generating a very strong Bodhisattva commitment. I'll become Buddha for the benefit of sentient beings. And second factor, to materialize this aspiration of Bodhicitta, to become Buddha, he actually engaged in the Bodhisattva practices, practice any form of compassionate action, and the act of kindness, more precisely the six perfection: generosity, ethical discipline, patience, enthusiasm, meditative concentration, and the wisdom. Likewise, skillfulness, aspiration prayers, power, and the primordial wisdom. Practice of these 10 perfections. If this is how he succeeded now that he became Buddha to benefit all the beings, I will also follow his footsteps. I'll also create these two factors. I'll also generate very strong bodhicitta motivation. And I'll also, to materialize the aspiration of bodhicitta, I'll also engage in the bodhisattva practices by practicing the 10 perfections. Okay, this is the contemplation. While do the contemplation during the third repetition, towards the end of the third repetition, imagine that you receive the aspiration bodhisattva vow. And keep in mind that bodhisattva vow, there are two kinds. One is the aspiration bodhisattva vow, and the other is the full-fledged bodhisattva vow. For the full-fledged bodhisattva vow, we cannot take it very easily. It requires a lot of conditions to be fulfilled. But for the aspiration bodhisattva vow, anybody can take. Okay. And later you can also think of, okay, I must grow, that I must be meritorious enough to one day take the full-fledged Bodhisattva vow. Okay, with this mind, let's wholeheartedly say these three terms together. Imagine that you are bringing along all the demonstration beings and all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, they're watching us as the witness. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please be here to me. Just as the previous Buddhas have generated Mother Bodhicitta, and just as they successfully dwelt in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the Mother Bodhicitta, and likewise shall I too successfully train the Bodhisattva practices. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please be here to me. Just as the previous Buddhas have generated the Mother Bodhicitta, and just as they successfully dwelt in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise, for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the Mother Bodhicitta, and likewise shall I too successfully train the Bodhisattva practices. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please be here to me. Just as the previous Buddhas have generated the Mother Bodhicitta, and just as they successfully dwelt in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the Mother Bodhicitta, and likewise shall I too successfully train the Bodhisattva practices. Feel the joy of having received this Bodhisattva vow. And this is amazing. And to repay the kindness of your two parents and all the demonstration beings as your mothers of the past lives, there's nothing greater way to repay the kindness than what you've done today, generated the take the aspiration Bodhisattva vow. And to to present as gifts to the Buddhist Bodhisattvas. There's nothing greater gift than this. The Buddha himself declared that one moment of the practice of compassion far excels the gifts of the whole universe filled with gems, gold, diamonds, silver, so forth, and offered all Buddhist Bodhisattvas. If this were the case, what it mentioned of our having taken the aspiration of Bodhisattva today, no doubt you have you have made the presentation of the gifts, the best of the gifts to all Buddhist Bodhisattvas, and that with your life, there's nothing greater meaning than this. And today you have given such a purpose and meaning to life. And all these wonders are happening because of the Bodhisattva's kindness. So imagine that Buddhist Bodhisattvas, they're so happy, they're so pleased to see that what are you doing today. All these many lifetimes, they're always being like the mother always receiving complaints from the school principal about you as a little girl, you as a little boy, all these many years. And today the school principal comes and the mother again, what kind of complaints? The school, no, we came here to inform you that your daughter and your son, they were appointed as best students of the school for this year. The mother, for the first time after all these many years of raising complaint, she could not believe the eyes and the ears today to hear something so pleasant. This is exactly what happens to all Buddhist Bodhisattvas. After all these innumerable lifetimes, where the Buddhist Bodhisattvas only expect us to engage in the shun the miseries, shun the causes of miseries, and therefore you be free from suffering. On the contrary, we've always been delving into miseries, the causes of miseries, thereby continually suffering. And the Buddhist Bodhisattvas always wish that we engage, embrace the virtues so that you have ample of happiness, joys. On the contrary, we shun the cause of the misery, we shun the virtues, we abandon the virtues, and then we continue to remain deprived of the happiness. And today, what you did, this is exactly something unbelievable thing happening, which the Buddhist Bodhisattvas feel so proud and happy today. And this joy and happiness the Buddhist Bodhisattvas feel invoke the Vajra moon at their hearts to multiply infinite number of times. Like rain shower, this Vajra moon, they merge with the one at the hearts of at your heart, thereby becoming non-dual, stabilized, and blessed. Likewise, all this innumerable infinite right because Vajramoon from the Buddha's Bodhisattva they descend like rain shower, they descend merge with the one that you visualize that you have shared the Vajramoon at heart of a mother, and the heart of the Father, each of the sentient beings, thereby they become non-dual, stabilized, and blessed. This is amazing. What a great, great, great purpose. How fruitful, how meaningful, what a meaning have you given to your life. This is amazing. And all these wonders happening because of the blessings of the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, as a gesture of as a gesture of thanking them. And let us slowly stand up along with all demonstration beings to make three prostrations to all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas. Okay, please take your seats now. Okay, now we'll turn to the next page 51. So this life, we have come in contact with this teacher on Bodhicitta wisdom and emptiness, and to make sure that in the future lives also we come in contact with these teachings, we put them in the form of a powerful prayer. So we say this verse 3 times together wholeheartedly. Throughout my future lifetimes, may always be guided by the compassion Buddha and be able to uphold the two precious Bodhisattvas even at the cost of my life. Throughout my future lifetimes, may always be guided by the compassion Buddha and be able to uphold the true precious Bodhisattvas even at the cost of my life. Throughout my future lifetimes, may always be guided by the compassion Buddha and be able to uphold the true precious Bodhisattvas even at the cost of my life. And the following verses, I'm going to quickly explain this to you, not the detail, not the word meaning, but how many of you have that experience that the, say, your childhood memories, very beautiful childhood memories. For example, you are already in your 20s, 30s, 40s, and you smell something today. You smell something, and this smell suddenly brings them past memories, beautiful memories of your mother, of your father, of beautiful days in school, and so very beautiful moments. How many of that experience results? Okay, look, this extremely the beautiful and also very important phenomena is a very important phenomenon, and the linking the two things, linking the same the sensual object with the past beautiful memories. So why this particular smell which you did not which you're hearing for the first time after like 20 years, 30 years. So the suddenly the a flashback of very beautiful moments, memories come back. Because that you have linked in your mind, you have linked these two things, the smell or the sound or the what? The something the smell sound and sometimes visual also. Visual. So these they're connected with a beautiful moment in the past. For example, I remember that there was a song. Today is an extremely village song, crude village song. And I lost my mother was just when I was 5 years old. And then sent to school. And then this little boy, no clue for the time being, like the memory disappeared. And then after 3 years in school, the class teacher, he taught a song. And the moment this teacher sang the song in the class, my eyes welled with tears. You know why? Because this was a song my mother used to sing. And 3 years, this love and affection, the mother's touch all disappeared the last 3 years. And then this song came, and suddenly the mother's enormous affection, love, simply the memory came back. So, and this is how we link these two things here. The following verses, these are taught by the Bodhisattva Shantideva. So there, what he's doing is that he's linking the joy with the practice of the bodhicitta. So that in your next lives, you hear the word bodhicitta, instantly you feel the joy. Because bodhicitta and joy, these two are linked here. He's linking these with us. So we try to, whenever you see, for example, like Buddha, bodhicitta, with just the word bodhicitta, wisdom, emptiness, try to feel the joy. Feel the joy, you are linking the two. So then in the next life, somebody says, the things are empty. Instantly you feel the joy. You're getting it? Likewise, compassion, the joy comes. So that way, then you will go in search of where is this word coming from? Who said it? Where is it? And then the book, which book? And then you end up seeing Nagarjuna, right? Nagarjuna, Achir Chandakit, Lama Sangaba, Guru Padma Sambhava, and all you see that then you will go, and then the hidden treasure gets unraveled, and you go to Gade Para Sambade Bodhi Swaha. You extract the greatest meaning. This is how we say take advantage of this life, and next life to make sure that the journey is very smooth and not interrupted. Okay, let's read let's read 4 verses together. In order to further increase this bodhicitta from now on, those with discernment who have lucidly seized and awakened the mind of bodhicitta in this way should highly praise it in the following manner. Today, my life has borne fruit. Having well obtained this human existence, I've been born in the family of the Buddha, and now one am Buddha's children. Thus, whatever actions I do from now on must be in accord with the family. Never shall I disgrace or pollute this unnoble and unsullied race. Just like a blind man discovering a jewel in a heap of rubbish, likewise by some coincidence an awakened mind has been born within me. Is the supreme ambrosia that overcomes the serpent of death. Is the inexhaustible treasure that eliminates all poverty in the world. Is the supreme medicine that quells the world's disease. Is the shelter that he is a tree that shelters all beings wandering and tired on the path of conditioned existence. It is a universal bridge that leads to freedom from the unhappy stage of birth. Is the dawning moon of the mind that dispels the torment of disturbing conceptions. Is the great sun that finally removes the mystic ignorance of the world. Is the quintessential butter from the churn of the milk of Dharma. For all those guests dwell on the path of conditioned existence who wish to experience abundance and happiness, this will satisfy them with joy and shall place them in supreme bliss. Today, in the presence of all the protectors, I invite I invite the world to be the guests at a festival of temporary and ultimate delight. May gods, demigods, and all be joyful. Okay, dedication prayer. I dedicate the merit that is gathered towards the realization of these in prayers of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of 3 times, and to the upholding of the doctrine of scripture and insight. May in all lives, through the Father's merit, never separate from the four wheels of the Mahana vehicle, and accomplish all the stages of the path, renunciation, bodhicitta, perfectly in the 2 stages. From my 2 collections, vast the space that I've amassed, from working with effort at this practice for a great length of time, may I become the sheet-leading Buddha for all those whose minds wisdom eyes blind of ignorance. Okay, today we'll recite this one. You have this handout? Okay, we'll chant this together. I'll chant it, and you slowly join me. Okay, the Ashish you have, you don't have. Okay, good. So I'm going to chant in. Okay, so the Tibetan, there's transliteration. You see that here in English letters. Abge tuje shage rizu chon shenge meto Tege bonjomba Serge lumbo tabu jebe gu shaye gebo Kela cha se do O mone mone mahamona yeswa O mone mone mahamona yeswa Abge tuje shage rezu chon shenge meto Dege bonjomba Serge lumbo tabor jeme gu shaye gebo Kela cha se lo O mone mone mahamona yeswa O mone mone mahamona yeswa Abge tuje shage rizu chon shenge mento Dege bonjomba Serge lumbo tabu jebe gu shaye gebo Kela cha se lo O mone mone mahamona yeswa O mone mone mahamona yeswa O mone mahamona yeswa O mone mone mahamona yeswa O mone mone mahamona yeswa O mone mone mahamona. マハモナイエスワ O Mone Mone Mahamona Yeswa 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 O Mone Mone Maham Okay, three pursuits together.